1332.
1332. Look at you, man. I still like the book, you know. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So clearly it says that of that day and hour, no one knows. Not that people forgot, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So that clearly shows the Son cannot be God, because that's like having a square circle. Either you know or you don't know.
All right, so my question to you is, and so...
There's a question, you're going to throw that question back at me?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, what about an answer?
This is how Jesus answered. He answered with questions a lot of times.
All right.
So the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, what is your assumption? Because you're obviously assuming that he's saying, using the word "know" in a form of ignorance, right?
I'm just reading.
Okay.
Right?
So what is?
I'm not assuming.
Have you read?
I think you know the English.
Have you read the?
So,
have you read the previous verses before that?
Sure.
So what's it about?
Assuredly, I say to you.
No, what's it about?
I mean, I haven't memorized.
You don't know?
it. No,
Come on, man.
I've read that.
When you bring a verse,
Okay, yeah.
and you got it highlighted,
Gotcha.
I'm expecting you to know the context.
Sure.
So
Tell
what
me.
is he talking about?
I mean, I've read the Bible cover to cover, right?
Come on,
But
Sheikh.
now you tell me the context.
Okay, so I'll tell you now.
Go for it.
So the context is Jesus is literally detail for detail telling you everything that's about to happen
Okay.
up until his coming.
Okay.
Detail by detail,
Excellent.
destruction of the temple,
Right.
destruction of the city,
Right.
how the persecution is going to come,
Okay.
the rebuilding of the temple,
Okay.
the abomination of the Antichrist is going to come,
Gotcha.
and how the sun will be darkened, detail by detail by
Detail,
detail
letter
by
by letter,
detail
line
by
by line.
detail.
Okay.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden says, oh, well, no one knows the day of the hour, not even the Son, but the Father in heaven.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you this. Does it make...
I don't think that was an answer.
No, does it make sense to you? I'm just trying to put this in perspective. Does it make sense to you for, number one, Jesus to lay out everything that's going to happen on that day, up until that day,
Yeah.
and say that he doesn't know when he's going to come?
Makes perfect sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
The Bible doesn't make sense?
No,
You just said that's what happened?
your understanding of that
Okay,
doesn't
so
make sense.
let me ask.
No, I'm not done.
Okay, you asked a question. Does it make sense? I mean,
Yeah, you said it
Okay,
makes
go ahead,
you said it makes
go ahead.
perfect sense to
Go
you.
ahead, I got you.
So let me just so another way that you can look at this,
okay.
which is the correct way contextually,
Okay.
is that Jesus is not speaking of knowledge when it comes to ignorance, but he's talking about declarative. It's a declarative
Look,
sense.
come on.
I know,
You're
I know, but
you're
it's
stretching.
no, I'm not.
Okay, look.
Because I want to show you.
Hold on.
I want to show you an example.
Just 1 second.
No, can I show you an
Let
example?
me just read it.
No,
right?
you read it
because
already.
Look.
Let me show you an example, Uthman.
But okay, let me just read it and you can show
Go
me.
ahead. I'll show you an example
But
after you read it.
of
Go ahead.
that day and hour, no one knows. That's pretty simple.
After he just laid out everything that's about to happen.
Exactly. So like I was going to say, but you didn't let me, but let me say it now. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us about the signs of the day of judgment, some very detailed signs, some very specific signs, right? But then when he was asked about when exactly is the day of judgment, he said nobody knows except Allah, right? I could tell you whatever Allah has revealed to the Prophet, yes, he would know. So whatever Allah revealed to Jesus, the son of Mary, peace and blessings be upon him, we love him, then yes, he knows. All those details that Allah revealed, yes, but some things only God knows.
Very
only
good.
Allah knows.
All
And
right.
that's exactly why, as you mentioned the context, that he's mentioning all the details, but then he says, but of that day and hour, no one knows.
No.
Not no one declares. Don't change words. And
I don't
put
got to
your
change
own-
anything.
Don't put
So,
your own.
so can I show you an example now? All right, go ahead.
Don't put your own wording into it.
Uh-huh.
But no one knows, not even the angels in heaven. Not that the angels aren't going to declare it, is that they don't know, nor the Son, but only the Father.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
All right, very good. So go to 1 Corinthians for me, chapter 2.
Go for it. Here you go.
You don't know where it is,
where
man? You
Corinthians
got
is.
all right, go to
I
it,
got you on
man.
Corinthians. I was just trying to help you.
Wrong way, man. You got to go the other way. Corinthians in the New Testament, Sheikh.
I got you. Relax. We've gone over Corinthians many a time.
All right, good. You should know where it is.
You know, we will get
You're
you.
rusty, man. You got all these
Corinthians.
highlights.
I got you.
Very good.
That's why I got you right here, and that's why I have these, right? So I
Yeah.
can know where I need to get to.
All right, very
1
good.
Corinthians. Go ahead.
Chapter 2.
You said 1 Corinthians,
Chapter 2.
chapter 2.
All right. So let's go ahead and read.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So this is Paul,
Okay.
right? This is who he's
That's
talking.
not Jesus.
I'm just showing you an example of how
I'm
no
just
is used.
asking, so I can be
I
clear.
already told you.
Okay.
You got to.
Yeah.
So this is what he says. And I, brethren, when I came to you, right? So he visited the believers in Corinth.
Okay.
Did not come with excellent of speech or of wisdom, declaring to you the testimony of God.
Okay.
For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified.
Okay.
So here's my question to you.
Okay.
When he says that I determined
Okay.
to not know anything
Okay.
except Jesus and him crucified,
Okay.
does that literally mean that Paul didn't know anything except Jesus and him crucified?
Sure. So here, definitely Paul from, again, I'm not an expert on the Bible. You're just asking my opinion, right?
Sure. Just a logical conclusion.
No, there's not a lot, because again, you would have to be looking at the textual background and all that, but I can tell you my opinion. In my opinion, what he's saying is that the emphasis that all he has is on Jesus and his crucifixion.
Exactly.
Right? But there's a difference here. This is why I said you can't play with verses.
There's not a difference.
Okay.
I wasn't done.
Look, you're not done?
No, because there's
Okay,
not a
I'll let
difference.
you finish.
Uthman. So Uthman, listen.
Go ahead.
When you see a clear example
Sure.
where Paul says, "I determined to know nothing
Right.
except Jesus and
Gotcha.
him crucified."
Gotcha.
So that means that it's not that he didn't know anything.
Gotcha.
It means that he only decided to declare or make known Jesus and him crucified.
Excellent.
Clear example of how no is used.
Excellent.
And the context tells you. So when we go back to Jesus' example,
Right.
where we see where he's literally laying out detail by detail
Sure.
everything that's happening. And then he says that the Son doesn't know the hour, nor the angels, nor no man. He's not saying that he himself is ignorant of the day,
Okay.
but he's saying that it's not for him to make known to them. It's not for him to declare. There's an example of this.
Okay.
Go to Acts chapter
Well,
1,
hold on.
please.
Let me ask you a couple of things first.
You got to let me finish this.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
So go to Acts chapter 1, because he's asked the same question. And notice how differently he answers.
Gotcha.
Acts chapter 1.
I got you. Acts 1, chapter 1. Go ahead.
All right, so let's see here. Around verse 7, he said to them, oh, okay, so verse,
You're slipping.
see, I'm just
It's your
trying to
book,
find
bro.
it.
Come on.
Verse 5, I think it is.
Oh,
Six.
Avery's
All right, here it is.
slipping.
So Acts chapter 1,
Okay.
starting at verse 6.
Well, 5 or 6.
That's 6.
Okay.
So it says, therefore, when they had come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? Same question that they asked him, right?
Okay. Well, it's the hour of his
Right. And at the hour, he's talking about how the Son of Man will come and restore Israel.
Okay.
That's the same context of Mark,
All
right?
Go ahead.
We in agreement?
Kind of.
Okay,
Go
good.
ahead.
All right. So I'll take that.
Go ahead.
So watch what Jesus says.
Okay.
Verse 7, and he said to them, it is not for you to know
Okay.
the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own authority.
Okay. The
So
Father.
notice how he doesn't say it's not for us to know,
But he
or he
doesn't
doesn't
say, "I
say
know."
he doesn't stop. Please pay attention to the context.
am paying
Uthman.
attention
Don't
to the
jump.
context.
So
I'm not
notice.
jumping.
So why doesn't he say, "I told you guys already, I don't know"?
Okay.
But instead he answers and says, "It's not for you to know
Are you
the
done?
times that the Father has fixed."
I'm gonna let you finish.
All right, yeah, I'm just wrapping it up. So, how Jesus compares his coming, he compares it to a Jewish wedding in chapters previous to this. He compares the coming of the Son of Man to a Jewish wedding.
Okay.
And according to tradition in a Jewish wedding, it's the father that announces the day of the wedding. It's not the groom or the
But he
bride.
knows, right?
Yes, they know, but they're not the one that makes it known. They're not the one who declares it.
I'm gonna let you finish.
So this is the point. The point is, it's not a point of ignorance, but it's a point of declaration.